So imagine dropping over $3,000, like 3,026 bucks to be exact, on what basically looks like a completely blank white canvas.
Yeah, that sounds a bit crazy.
Right. But that is exactly what a Draper profile plus a 110-inch fixed frame screen costs. So welcome to today's deep dive, where our mission is to explore the, surprisingly complex engineering hidden inside premium audiovisual gear.
And we're using this specific Draper screen as our map, really, to understand how hardware fundamentally changes your viewing space.
Exactly. Okay, let's unpack this. Why does a seemingly simple piece of fabric cost as much as a used car?
What's fascinating here is that at this tier of equipment, you aren't actually just buying a screen to bounce a projector's light off of. You're really paying for high-level architectural problem solving.
Which, I mean, makes total sense when you look at the sheer physical size we're dealing with here.
Oh,
We
absolutely.
were talking about a massive 54 by 96-inch viewing area, standard 16 by 9, high-definition format. But looking at our sources, the real engineering flex is the surface material itself.
Right, the ClearSound NanoPerf XT1000V.
Yeah, that is a mouthful, but it's an acoustically transparent surface. And initially, that sounded to me like a cinematic magic trick, like an invisibility cloak for your speakers.
It kind of is, but the physics behind it are much more practical than magic. Acoustic transparency just simply means sound waves can pass right through the material without being distorted or, muffled.
Right, so instead of a solid, impenetrable sheet of vinyl, it's less like a traditional canvas and more like a microscopic chain-link fence.
That's a great way to put it, yeah.
The links are painted perfectly to catch and reflect the projector's light back to your eyes. But the microscopic holes, the perforations, they let the sound waves from the speakers punch right through. You don't lose any fidelity.
Exactly. And that specific mechanism solves a massive physical problem for high-end home theaters or, large corporate training rooms.
Because of the space issue, right?
Right. Think about it. If you have a massive 110-inch screen taking up the entire wall, where do the speakers actually go? If you put them beside the screen, you are actively shrinking the space you have available for the actual picture,
Or you're forced to just shove them way up near the ceiling or like down by the floor.
which completely ruins your directional audio alignment.
Yeah.
I mean, when an actor speaks on the left side of the screen, the audio needs to originate from the left side.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So by utilizing those microscopic perforations, the NanoPerf surface allows you to completely hide a massive high-end audio array directly behind the picture. The sound comes exactly from where the visual action is happening.
Maximizing your room's visual real estate without compromising the immersive experience. Okay, but that solves the audio physics. It creates a massive logistical nightmare, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, if this is a rigid fixed frame screen that's 110 inches across, that is over 9 feet of solid material, how does a regular person even get that up a narrow stairwell? Or into a standard office elevator?
Ah, right.
Wait, does it snap together on site?
Yeah, the engineers had to account for exactly that scenario. Despite being a fixed frame, this product actually ships completely unassembled.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, the frame's constructed from lightweight materials,
Yeah.
and the screen itself attaches using this sliding hook and loop system. You simply transport the compact pieces to the installation site, and then you tension the viewing surface directly onto the frame right there in the room.
And the frame isn't just a basic border holding the fabric tight either.
No, not at all.
Looking at the diagrams from our sources, it's built with extruded aluminum baffles on all 4 sides. And these baffles basically stretch the fabric all the way to the absolute edge of the physical structure.
Right, creating what they call a zero-edge borderless option. And functionally, that creates a mullion-less display.
Wait, let's break that down for a second. A mullion-less display means there is no thick black bezel outlining the picture, right?
Exactly.
So if you wanted to, you could tile 4 of these 9-foot screens directly adjacent to one another, and you wouldn't see a single black seam dividing the picture.
Yeah, it would just look like one continuous, optically seamless 50-foot wall.
That is wild.
And because that frame is practically built into the architecture of the room with those zero-edge baffles, it fundamentally changes how you have to approach buying one.
Which completely explains the terrifying fine print on the receipt.
Yeah, the terms are pretty strict.
Our sources note this is a special order item, and it is strictly non-cancelable, non-returnable, and non-refundable. Like, you aren't just hanging a TV, you are commissioning a custom wall.
It really highlights the absolute permanence of high-end AV integration.
Hmm.
I mean, yes, you receive a 5-year Draper warranty and lifetime tech support.
Right, so there's a safety net for mechanical defects.
Sure, but there is no taking it home to see if those good. When you are dealing with gear custom fitted to your architecture, purchasing requires absolute commitment to your spatial design.
So, what does this all mean for you listening right now? Whether you are prepping to build out a neighborhood sports bar, or updating a corporate training room, or just sketching out blueprints for the ultimate home theater.
Changes the game entirely.
Exactly. Understanding these underlying logistics redefines how you plan your room. Knowing that acoustic transparency and zero-edge borders exist means you no longer have to design your architecture around your electronics.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it really leaves us with a fascinating question to ponder.
What's that?
Well, if materials like the NanoPerf allow screens to perfectly mimic solid borderless walls while letting sound pass through entirely unimpeded, are we rapidly approaching an era where the concept of a separate television disappears completely? We might soon be looking at living environments that simply come alive on command, where the ultimate magic trick isn't just hiding the speakers, but making the screen itself indistinguishable from the architecture until the exact moment you need it.